You ever stumble across a celebrity update so unexpected that it instantly makes you wonder what's really going on behind the scenes? Well, that's exactly the reaction fans had when a rare family photo suddenly revealed a fresh clue about Will Smith and Jada Pinkett Smith's relationship. After years of silence, distance, and puzzling revelations, their story just took a new turn, one hidden right in plain sight. It all started with a simple birthday post from Will's ex-wife, Cherie Zampino. Nothing dramatic, no long captions, no cryptic emojis, just a family snapshot. But sometimes, a single picture says more than an entire interview, and this one is sparking bigger conversations than Will probably expected. In the photo, Will stands with Cherie, their son Trey, Jada, and Jaden, a blended family that's weathered more storms than most of Hollywood ever sees. But here's where things get interesting. Will and Jada weren't standing together, not even close. It wasn't awkward, but it definitely wasn't the cozy, united stance fans used to expect from them. After years of rumors, separations, and confessions, this little detail felt like a quiet confirmation that they're still living separate lives, and people immediately picked up on it, wondering if this meant their 2016 split, which came to light only in 2023, is still the reality they're navigating. If you remember, everything shifted back in 2020 when the word entanglement took over the internet. Jada's relationship with singer August Alsina cracked open the mystery around the Smith marriage. Then came that eye-opening Today Show interview in 2023, where Jada finally admitted she and Will had been separated for 7 years. 7 years, while the world thought they were still a power couple. She said they were exhausted, stuck in the expectations of what they thought marriage should look like. Yet she held on to a promise. No matter what, she wouldn't divorce him. It was messy, emotional, and incredibly human. And since that moment, the public has been trying to define their relationship for them. Are they married? Estranged? Together? Something entirely new? According to a family insider who spoke earlier this year, it's basically all of the above. They live their own lives, but they haven't completely cut ties. That's why family gatherings like Trey's birthday still bring them into the same space, even if the dynamic feels different. It's not a breakup in the traditional sense, but it's not a reconciliation either. It's something uniquely theirs, an arrangement most of us are still trying to understand. What complicates things even further is that every few months, something happens that makes fans think they might be rekindling things. Like in late 2024, when they were spotted out at dinner with a friend. Nothing unusual, until someone noticed the subtle PDA happening behind them. Jada, wrapping her arms around Will leaning in, both of them smiling like things were easy again. Naturally, rumors exploded overnight. Was this a soft launch of a reconciliation, a reset, or just a warm moment between two people who still cared deeply for each other? Whatever it was, nothing official changed afterward. Then came the Bad Boys Ride or Die premiere in 2024, where Jada showed up on the red carpet to support Will. And Will, being Will, lit up when he talked about her. He called her his ride or die, even saying he'd always been blessed to look to his side and see her there. To fans, it felt like a romantic confession. But for Will and Jada, it might just reflect the complicated partnership they've consciously chosen, one that exists beyond the traditional rules. They may not be romantic the way they once were, but the loyalty, the history, the bond, that part seems unshakable. And that brings us back to the birthday photo, the picture that quietly reignited every question about the state of their relationship. Because when you look closer, what you see isn't tension. It's not distance fueled by resentment. It's more like two people who know exactly where they stand, even if the rest of the world is still trying to decode it. They show up for their kids. They show up for major family moments, but they don't pretend to be something they're not. It's honest, even if it's confusing. And maybe that's why people are so fascinated by them. They break every mold. Will has mostly stepped away from oversharing publicly, especially since the fallout from the Oscars incident. Jada, meanwhile, has leaned into transparency through interviews and her memoir, letting the world see just how layered their relationship really is. But together, Their silence speaks louder than anything. They don't rush to define things. They don't shut down speculation. They simply exist in this in-between space, navigating it privately, while the world tries to make sense of their choices. And maybe that balance, the separation without severing, is healthier for them than anyone realizes. When you look at their journey as a whole, you start to see why the Smiths function the way they do. They've been married since 1997. They've raised exceptional kids. They've built careers, weathered scandals, evolved spiritually, and confronted their traumas publicly. A normal breakup could never fit their life story. So instead, they've created their own version of a bond, one based on commitment, not convention. They don't hide their flaws, and they don't pretend to be the picture-perfect couple Hollywood loves. And weirdly enough, that makes their connection feel more real. So as fans stare at photos and piece together clues, the truth might be simpler than it looks. Will and Jada are complicated because life is complicated. Love is complicated. Marriage is messy. Long-term bonds are messy. And evolving in separate directions doesn't erase decades of family. They may never return to the relationship they once had, but they also don't plan to fully walk away from each other. And maybe that's their secret. They're not trying to fit into a box. They're choosing what works for them, even if it makes the rest of us scratch our heads. Whatever their future holds, one thing is clear. The Smiths will always stand united where it truly counts.